Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Crosskick from CZT Milde Weiss. This is a neat one on a number of levels. And it starts off like this. And I'm putting this in the category of, I think I'm going to call it freestanding. Yeah, because it can be by itself. It can be in a cluster. It can be done really large and be the focal point of a tangle. But it's not something that's, that's a fill. It's just different. So, but it's really cool. So let me show you. And that way, to let you know, I'm going to put this in that category, and I probably will put some other ones in there as well. So that way, if you're looking for something like this, then it's easy to find. All right, this starts off with an orb, wherever you want it. That's going to be the center of this piece. Okay, then straight lines, and well, of course, you determine how big or small. I'm gonna have this fill up the whole thing. So going, we'll say north and south, and then you could have it going east and west, however you want to think about it. Up, down, left, right. And then we're going to subdivide those. And having those about the same length. And just like everything Zentangle, you can, of course, adjust it as need be. Okay. Then we're kind of going to subdivide again. And well, let me show you what we're going to do, because we're going to put like a wedge, for lack of a better term, in here. It's going to consist of just 3 straight lines, but I was kind of doing them all together. So I'm starting sort of in the center here. I'm leaning out to one side because, and I'm going to make this kind of big. So one straight line here, a straight line on the top, and then the third straight line. I can't count. I can't count and tangle at the same time. We'll come back in. Okay, and so, I mean, you can do this, like I said, in one stroke. I like to sometimes define things in terms of Zentangle essential strokes, and straight line is one of them. Wedge is not. So, and we're going to do that in between each of these spokes. Like I said, I found it easy to just start in the middle, go up, and of course, as you see this done, then you'll decide, oh, how far do you want to take these out? But these are generally going to be longer than these initial spokes that we drew. And this is just, it's really, really cool tangle. I like some of these that you see it, then you see the step out, you're like, oh. And then you do it, you're like, oh, how neat is that? I like those kind. And this, if you start in the middle, and as long as you're coming back to the same point, it stays in there pretty even. Although, as you know, even if it doesn't, it's okay. And even some of the, in between the spokes for me are not necessarily even. So that's why it just doesn't matter, because when you have the final product, the final work, it's just going to be amazing, and you're not going to worry about it. So I'll tell you this, that looks cool right there. And of course, if you felt like you wanted to stop right there, you could, and then decorate, shade, things like that. As I'm looking, going, I could have made that center orb a little bit bigger, but next time. All right, next step on this is, from each corner of these wedges that we put in, we're going to draw a straight line down to that, the nearest spoke, and then on both sides, like so. And we're going to go all the way around and do that. Now, as I do this, I want to mention on the, you'll see the link in the description section. I'll have my step out, and then there'll be the For More Inspiration, and that will go to Tangle Patterns, where you can see the original step out from Milde. And And I hope, I don't know if I'm pronounced, if the E's pronounced or not. It could be Milde. I'm not sure. Milde, if you ever watch this, let me know. um, but that way you can see the tangle, and then also see the kind of extra things, the ways to decorate it, give you other ideas. And actually, I left some of mine kind of short because it's I was gonna make some of those longer, but as I was doing it, I forgot, and then at the same time, I think, oh well, look at how neat that looks, and there we have it. So, just a neat tangle, really really neat. But make sure to check out the tangle patterns link that I have in the description section, so that way you can see other ways, be inspired, things like that. Okay, now you get to decorate and shade however you want. I think I'm gonna do. I really like what I did on the step out, and I want to have an official copy of it here. So I'm gonna color in this orb, but here's what I'm gonna do, and here's a thought for you. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a crescent here, and then I'm gonna make I'm making a little orb over here. I'm gonna fill in between as best I can, because I think that's kind of neat to do. Although you can just fill it all the way in and use a white jelly roll. If you can do it this way too, then of course, why not? All right, and then I'm going to, because I really liked how that turned out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some orbs, and I'm going to do every other one because that's what I did on my step out. And I was starting at the big end, and then working my way in, being careful. Sometimes I do my orbs just a little too fast. And then we'll fill in. Like I said, of course, you can do this however you want to do. You can fill it in solid. Seems like one of the examples had orbs in it, and I really liked that. And then it's always nice to fill in between the orbs if you're wondering what I'm doing. And I'm going to skip one. But yeah, you could do anything that will fit. There are some really nice tangles. Like I could probably fit, if I did it maybe a little bit bigger, I could probably fit some flux in there. Oh, you could do like printemps. You could actually, I'm doing, like graduated orbs. You could do like a whole bunch of smaller ones if you wanted to. And let me skip again. Whoops. And then trying not to go outside of the lines. That's why sometimes it just pays to slow down. And that's kind of the point of Zentangle also, right? Is we're looking for ways to slow down and relax. And it's really more about that and the process that we have in just doing this. Whether it's, I think it all ends up being relaxing in my book. But the getting the creative juices flowing, and just having fun with things and working. This is my own therapy. Working to like, it's not really risk taking, but kind of, in my own little world of, like, oh, I don't feel comfortable. This is out of my comfort zone to do X, and even though it's just a piece of paper. Sometimes it's just like, oh. But yeah, getting out of my own comfort zone and just trying things and also working on not worrying about it. So that's neat. But let's see. Well, no, I can do this really quick too. All right. Then what I did was on the other ones, I decided I was going to just draw straight lines. So kind of one down the center, and then one on either side. And I do like to share sometimes this because just speaking to those, if you're in any way like me and challenged in some of these areas, it's like, well, I don't know what to do next. So there's some standard things that it's like start with this, and then you can just add to your portfolio in your brain of different things that you could do with tangles. It's like, oh, well, when it comes to decorating, then you could do, X, Y, and Z. All right, so then what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to do this. I didn't do this on the step out. It's hard on the step out because I'm just using regular paper. But I'm just putting some heavy graphite down the center. Well, the center of these V's, but it's the open spoke. And then I'm going to spread it out to either side. And then my aim is to leave that dark in the center. Might have to end up coming back. We'll just see. But I'm using the graphite more as two ways. As a fill-in, so like coloring this part gray, but then also to shade, like I said, and my aim is to have that center stay dark. And sometimes, it works. And sometimes that's a really great way to do it, is just, put the graphite where you want it darkest and then spread it into the areas that you're looking to fill. And then just naturally it will be a little bit darker. Like I said, you can always add if need be. So that looks really neat. Could look like a, I'm thinking of, holidays coming up at the time of the recording. And, if you used color, it can look, it kind of looks like an interesting bow, sort of. But anyway, really, really neat tangle. Glad to be sharing it with you. If you enjoyed the video, it helps me out a lot. If you, click like, you share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, put in comments, all of that kind of thing helps me out. And it's just nice to know that there are people, that you're out there and that you're enjoying the content. In the description section, besides the step outs, you'll find ways to connect with me if you like my style and want to join me for a live class. I do live classes every week, and that will be on my website, and that information is in the description section. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.